Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Roma Revolution. I'm Ben, and coming up on today's episode we have the Coppa Italia quarter-final against Inter Milan, and that will either be followed by the semi-final of the same competition or our first knockout round Champions League tie against Chelsea. Now, since you were last with me, we have played a couple of Serie A games and the results weren't quite up to standard. There was a 1-0 loss to Benevento, a 33rd minute goal for them, seeing us lose, and we then followed it up with a scrappy 1-0 victory over Fiorentina. We'll need to play much better today if we are to beat Inter Milan in this quarter-final. But the league, we are still top, only 2 points in it now, however, after that loss to Benevento. So it is still going to be a massive ask for us to win the league, but form has to continue if we're going to do so. The team, therefore, today for this Inter Milan game is this. Falanese in goal, a back three of Mancini, Upamecano and Basia. Miranda and Florenzi are the wing-backs, with Tonali in behind Diawara and Riccardi in the midfield. Thiago Almada plays in behind Pedro. 3 games for him, 2 goals. He's looking like he could be a really good signing at this current moment in time. Pellegrini out with a knock. He can only make the bench. Paredes out fully as well. And Eduardo Camavinga also. So we are missing a few key players for this one. But hopefully the boys can step up and play much better than we have in the last 2 games, which have seen us slip back into the pack for the Serie A title. The team you would expect, I suppose, some of the names that are still there. Eriksen and Lukaku still in the Inter side with Chiesa on the right. You've got a strong left-hand side, Vinicius Junior and Zinchenko for them. Azpilicueta, the ex-Chelsea man, in at right back as well. They've got a pretty decent team. They're flying high in Serie A as well. I think they're only 3 points behind us. So we really need to go and put on a performance, and as always we've got faith in the boys that they're going to be able to do so. The assistants off to the tunnel, and here we go, the quarter-final then of the Coppa Italia competition. We reached the final of and were knocked out by AC Milan a couple of seasons to go. It'd be a nice one to add to the trophy cabinet, potentially to go alongside a Serie A or Champions League win again this year. But we've got to get past a really decent side in Inter if we're going to be able to do so. And an early chance in the 15th minute for them. Chiesa from the edge of the area whacks the ball over the bar. They've had the better of the early proceedings, but we just need to get ourselves into this game and perhaps grab a goal and see if we can see a victory through. Junior picking up a knock for them, a thigh injury. So hopefully that might not make him as influential and effective as he can be. We're going to demand a little bit more. We've not seen anything of us at all in this first half. We've only seen that one Chiesa opportunity, which suggests this might well be a bit of an even game where both teams are just seeing each other out. But there is a chance late in the half, and Upamecano is beaten to it, I think, by Bastoni, who heads over the bar for them. The 2 chances we've seen have been Inters. We've had 7 shots, none of which have been on target. It's not been a great first half. We're going to get aggressive. We've seen it before. We've got aggressive at half time, and the team has turned it around in the second half. This needs to be another example of that. Almada having a poor game, but here we go. Miranda surging forward. He's beaten to it, however, and he is now out of position, but they instead decide to go down this left-hand side with Vinicius Junior, who even with a thigh injury is cruising past Florenzi on that right-hand side. We've got to improve. Almada not playing well. Diawara not playing well. Miranda, Florenzi, no one really having an outstanding game. And I think it might well be time for a couple of changes just to freshen things up. Almada is going to be one. Zaniolo is going to come on for him. I think we'll also get rid of Diawara at this stage. We'll bring on Brian Cristante for him. And that will be that for now. But we do just need to see half an hour of an improved performance. And hopefully we can just see ourselves past Inter and on to the semi-finals of this competition. As I say, that will be the next match we see if we do it, and there may well be a chance from a corner. Tonali whips it in. Mancini with a header, his 4th goal of the season. It is Roma 1, Inter 0. It had potentially been coming looking at the stats. We hadn't seen any of us at all, but Tonali with a great ball in. Mancini the first there. His 4th goal of the season, 4 of which I think have all come from corners. And can we hold on to it now? An early chance for them to break straight back, and it was a massive opportunity for Bastoni. But from about 6 yards out, he's headed over, and we stay 1-0 up. But it seems they really are starting to come for us. Lukaku on the edge of the area with Barella behind him. He's got Dendoncker. Eriksson looking for a ball towards Lukaku, but Miranda sweeps up well and finds Riccardi. Not quite. Zinchenko now on this left-hand side for Inter. Dendoncker, Riccardi doing well to press, but they play it round him. Eriksson, Dendoncker, Zinchenko, Eriksson, Zinchenko with a chance to cross. He instead goes backwards and it's fallen with Dendoncker, Barella, Lukaku, Alberto. They've nosed it really well out to Chiesa. He's been brought down on the edge of the area. Is this going to be a penalty and the opportunity for Inter to level? Juan Miranda has brought down Chiesa. We've gone to VAR. The ref is coming back onto the pitch. Here we go. Is it a penalty? It's not. We've got away with it. Juan Miranda potentially just on the edge of the area as opposed to in it. But the ball comes across and it's wide from Esposito, the boy we had here last year. Our star man last season. He couldn't quite put his first touch in the goal then. But with just over 15 minutes to go, we now do really just need to see this one out. Florenzi slugging for fitness and not having the best of games. So young David Bua can come on the right-hand side for him. We're just going to ask for a little bit of passion just to hopefully see this one out. 1-0 with just over 10 minutes to go. Can we see it out? We've had a good amount of shots, far more on target in the second half. As we've seen most of the season, we've not dominated the possession, but that just links, I think, to the way in which we play. And we're approaching added time of normal time. Are we going to see any late drama, or are we going to be able to see it out? It looks like the latter. We've done it. We've won the quarter-final against Inter Milan. We're on to the semi-finals. A Gianluca Mancini header sees it for us. We looked like we played okay. We've got away with it again, but we're on to the semi-finals, and I'll see you for that one in a second. Okay then, the Coppa Italia draw has given us AC Milan. We go from Inter to AC for the semi-final. We'll have the first leg coming up now, and the next episode will then be the second leg combined with that first leg of the Chelsea game. In between these two games, however, we were able to pick up a 1-0 Serie A win over Lech. Thiago Almada with a penalty in the 13th minute, which deserved to be more. We dominated the game, we played okay, but a win is a win nonetheless. That has maintained our 2-point gap at the top of the league. It's now 3 over Inter Milan and a whole 8 points over AC. Our opponents today. Before we also do get stuck into this game, a little bit of transfer news. Pau Lopez has gone to Napoli for £20 million. He wasn't really playing for us. He started to kick up a fuss that he wasn't, so we moved him on. And as a replacement, we have brought in Drakowski from Chelsea. He's currently the top, or was the top, clean sheet man in the Premier League until moving for us. He just looks like a good replacement for Pau Lopez, and he will provide some good competition to Falanez in goal. The team, therefore, going into this game looks a bit like this. We have still got Falanez in goal. It's a back three of Mancini, Upamecano and Basia. Florenzi suspended, so Bua and Miranda on the wings. Paredes in behind Pellegrini and Riccardi in the midfield, with Thiago Almada in behind Pedro up front. Let's get stuck in and let's see if we can build a good platform at the San Siro to take back to the Olimpico in the semi-final. It will be either Juventus or Atalanta in the final if we can get past AC Milan. A team that we have had some serious struggles with in the save, and that means once again we can go out and get the Avenge team talk. We've always got faith in the boys. The assistants off to the tunnel, and here we go. Can we finally get one over AC Milan, a team that I think we've probably lost to the last 3 or 4 times we've played them, but an early highlight and potentially an opportunity with David Bua cutting inside. He tries to switch the play all the way over to Miranda, but it's an awful ball, and there's a chance for AC Milan to build from the back. Romagnoli finds Hakan, who in the last game earlier on in the season, you may recall, caused us loads of problems, and so did David. This man Paredes trying to take him down. I think he has eventually. It's going to be a penalty, I think. He's had 1, 2, 3 bites of the cherry there, Paredes. The assistant's going over to the VAR telly. I think he's going to come back and say this is a penalty. Here we go. The decision is it's a penalty. Paredes, the man in big games once again, who causes the disruption. He's tried to have a bite of the cherry at least 3 times there. And there's an early opportunity for AC Milan. A Boa ball that set off the counter-attack. Kessie slots it home. It's AC Milan 1, Roma 0. Bua was looking like he was going to set up a good chance for us. He put an awful ball across to Miranda. It's come up the other end. We've given away a penalty. And what can only be described as an awful start means we're going to be demanding much more of the boys from here on in. And fingers crossed we can turn it all around. We haven't really scored much from open play. And it's looking like it was almost 2 for them. They're really taking it to us here. We've got to get a foothold in the game. A really good ball in from Hakan. I think it was Kamara with the header. It's gone over. We're dominating the possession. We've tried to just tweak that a little bit, but we're not getting anywhere near the amount of shots we were. Hatebo are on the right for them. It's back to Calabria. It's nicked from them, and we're off potentially. Pedro with a chance to counter. He's beaten to it by Kamara, but he manages to keep hold of it. It's fallen to Thiago Almada, who shoots just wide. In our first chance of the game, a really good chance. Pedro doing really well to hustle and win the ball up there. We're going to ask for a bit of creativity from the boys just to see if that can get them further up the pitch. We're going to ask for some creativity. Here we go. We've not had as many shots. We've had more of the possession. But there looks like it's going to be a corner for AC Milan. Hakan with the ball in. It's headed away. Is it? It's not. It's really well saved from Faranes. I think it was a Willian shot. Basia had a chance to clear. He wasn't able to. But we've a chance to break now through Pellegrini, who just runs it out of play. No one pressuring him. Pellegrini just runs the ball off the field. It's been a really poor first half. We've not played well at all. And I think looking at it at the moment, we're going to go into half-time 1-0 down. It is only a penalty that's bit the difference. But there's been a lot more difference. 8 shots for them. We've dominated the possession. We're going to get aggressive. We've not been good enough. We expect to see much more in the second half. And there are a few players out there who do really need to pick up their performance. We're also going to ask for a bit of passion at the beginning of the half. And see if we can just go and grab an equaliser. And a chance here. Pellegrini, Riccardi at the back post. It's found its way in. A really tight angle for the header. Alessio Riccardi nods home a Pellegrini free kick. And after 5 minutes of the second half, we are level in the game. Pizzari should really be saving, but it's a really well taken header from Riccardi. And can we now go and grab a second goal? Atalanta are ahead. Zapata scoring in the first minute. So at the moment, it's all to play for in both ties. And is there going to be another chance? Pellegrini back to Miranda, who puts the ball towards the back post. David Bua with a chance. It would have been a great goal. Miranda and Bua not both having the greatest of games, but that was a chance for them to redeem themselves there. And with 35 or so minutes to go, we're going to make a couple of changes. Miranda's definitely coming off. He's been poor. Donati can come on for him. And I think the other one will make Bua can stay on for now. Zaniolo, the cup man. He's seen it in the Champions League. Can we have it in the Italian Cup as well? He'll come on for Almada in there. And we'll see if we can just go and grab a winner to take back to the Olimpico. 1-1 will be okay. We're obviously away from home. But the win would be oh so great as well. If we could just go out and find a late winner in the 15 minutes to go. A couple players still out there that might well be looking to come off. Bua and Pedro are on the chopping list. Pellegrini struggling for a bit of fitness. But he's the sort of man you want out there in these scenarios. We're going to make one final change. It will be Bua. We'll get Sergio Ramos on the right instead of him. That's the final change. Can we see this one out or even grab a late winner? We're going to ask for some creativity to finish. 2 set-piece goals, 1 a penalty, 1 a free kick, which was headed home really well by Alessio Riccardi. Atalanta look like they're going to hold on in the other tie. And we've got a really late chance. Riccardi tries to nab the ball, but it's gone all the way back to Plazzari in the goal. Calabria, is there going to be a really late kick in the teeth from AC Milan? There's a ball in. Halla's got it. It's headed over. We've got away with it. It looked like it was going to be a late chance for Milan to grab a winner. But the highlight is continuing. We've got to get rid of it. Faraday just hoofs it out. I think he realises the ball back to him from Upamecano put him under great pressure. And there's 30 or so seconds to go. Kessie, Zaniolo with a challenge. It's going to be a late free kick. An opportunity for them to put another ball into the box. And it's Castillejo who's going to do so. He instead goes short to William. Riccardi sees off the danger. And Zaniolo, oh, there was acres of room in front of him. But the ref blows the whistle. It finishes AC Milan 1, Roma 1. The tie is really well balanced to take it back. A good effort for the comeback. Couldn't quite find the winner, but we are in a really good position to take it back to the Olimpico and hopefully put ourselves into another Coppa Italia final. As mentioned earlier, that will be the next episode combined with the first leg of the Chelsea game. But for today, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And if you have, please leave a like down below for me. Subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager content. And thank you all for coming along and watching.